All right, let's jump right in. We're about to pull back the curtain on the process that turns a flicker of an idea into the apps you use on your phone every single day. It's a journey, and it's all powered by a framework that is, no exaggeration, the backbone of the entire tech industry.
I mean, seriously, stop and think about that for a second. One day it's a scribble on a whiteboard in some meeting room, and the next you're downloading it from the App Store. How does that happen? Well, I can tell you it's definitely not magic, but it is a very, very structured process.
And this process, it's the secret sauce, really. It's a standardized way of doing things that every single company, whether it's two people in a garage or a massive global corporation, relies on to build the software that we all depend on.
That process has a name, the Software Development Lifecycle, or SDLC for short. The easiest way to think about it is as the universal blueprint for making software. Its entire job is to bring order to the chaos of a big project and make sure that what comes out at the end is a high-quality, secure product that, actually works the way it's supposed to.
The SDLC breaks this massive job down into 5 core phases. First you plan, then you design, then you build it, you test it, and finally, you deploy it. And you gotta remember, it's a cycle, because as soon as one feature gets out the door, the whole process usually kicks off again for the next great idea. Okay, so theory is great, but to make this all feel a bit more real, let's follow one single new feature through this whole cycle and see how it works in practice.
So let's imagine a company. We'll call them Example.com. They're a successful online store selling clothes for men and women. And after doing some homework, they've had a big idea. They're going to launch a brand new kids' clothing section on their site. Now, here's the crucial part. They don't just jump in and start coding. No way. They start with phase 1, planning. This is where the product owners come in. These are the folks who figure out the why and the what of the project. They go out and gather input from actual customers. They're asking questions like, hey, are you more interested in stuff for toddlers or for kids aged 6 to 12? All this data gets collected into a formal document that becomes the absolute foundation for everything else that's going to happen.
So with that solid plan in hand, it's time to turn all those words and requirements into an actual technical blueprint. This is the design phase, and it's where the what we want to build gets translated into the how we're going to build it. And this design phase is really split into 2 parts. First, you have the high-level design, or HLD. This is the 30,000-foot view, the big picture. This is where architects are making huge decisions, like, can our system handle a massive spike in traffic during the holidays? Or what kind of database do we need? Then you zoom all the way into the low-level design, the LLD. And this is the super detailed nitty-gritty stuff, specific functions, individual modules, the actual logic of the code. Okay, so the plan is solid. The blueprint is drawn up. The team knows exactly what to build. But that brings us to the next massive challenge. How do you take this beautiful, detailed plan and turn it into working software, quickly and without it breaking all the time? And this is exactly where DevOps comes into the story. Now, DevOps doesn't replace the SDLC. Think of it more like a supercharger for the engine. It's a culture, a set of practices, all designed to accelerate that journey from code to customer. A DevOps engineer definitely understands the whole cycle, but their main focus, their sweet spot, is on those 3 action phases: building, testing, and deploying. This is where all the action happens, and it's where automation can make a gigantic difference. Yeah, as the source material puts it, the whole goal of a DevOps engineer is to, and I'm quoting, fasten this process so that everything happens in an automated way. It's all about one thing: removing the manual steps to go faster and make fewer mistakes. So let's actually look at how DevOps automates these critical phases. How does it change them from a series of clunky manual handoffs into one smooth, continuous pipeline? So here's what that automated workflow looks like. First, the developers build the code for that kids' clothing feature and push it to a central repository, like Git. The second that happens, an automated process kicks off and sends the code to a staging server. That's kind of like a private internal version of the website, where the quality assurance engineers can test it. And once it passes all those tests, it gets automatically promoted and deployed to the live production server, making it available for everyone to see. And the ultimate goal of automating this whole thing is really simple: remove as much manual human intervention as you possibly can. Because every single time a person has to do something manually, it's a potential bottleneck. It's a chance for error. Automation just directly leads to more speed and more efficiency. So if we want to sum it all up, it's pretty straightforward.
The SDLC is the what. It's the process, the framework. DevOps is the how. It's the culture that accelerates that process. The SDLC's main goal is to create a high-quality product. DevOps totally agrees, but adds the critical goal of delivering that product with amazing speed and efficiency.
So the SDLC gives you the roadmap, and DevOps gives you the high-speed train to get there. But this all leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future, right? The SDLC is the standard, and DevOps automates it. But what happens when the automation itself starts to get smarter? What happens when it can predict issues, adapt on its own, and improve the process all by itself?